The next movie I saw was American Sniper, which everybody in the fucking movie theater was seeing. I mean, no joke. Like, that was what everybody was seeing. If you don't know by now, it's like made, like, this movie is made over the weekend, like, $90.2 million. What the fuck? One of those, wow, like, I never would have saw that fucking coming. Like, to see this movie make that much money. I was like, that's pretty cool though. I'm not. I was like, it's not like me complaining or anything. It's just like, wow, that's really surprising. And also, it's really, really fucking weird to think that I saw this headline that this is Clint Eastwood's highest grossing film ever in his career. Think about that one for a second, people. A guy whose career spanned like since the 50s. This is his highest grossing film. What the fuck? Like, I'm just there, like, oh, fuck's sake. But, man, this is, like, the highest grossing weekend for January. I mean, like, that's unheard of for January for a movie to make $90 million. Like, in May and, like, June and stuff like that, no, that's not unheard of. Like, during the summer, it's, like, expected a movie's gonna make that much money. But, that's pretty fucking crazy. But as far as like my expectations going into this movie, I was looking forward to it a lot because I love the trailer for this movie. I really did. That's the trailer I'm talking about is the one where he's uh, watching the military convoy and basically the mom and her child come out with a bomb and he has to decide what he's going to do. Is he going to shoot both of them or not? And it's like it builds up so much tension. That trailer is one of the most intense trailers I've ever fucking watched. And a lot of people pointed out it's one of the best trailers I've seen in a long time. And I definitely recommend watching that if you haven't seen it. So I was like, man, I gotta see this movie. Like, I want like my sister even told me over Christmas break. She's like, I want to see whether that fucking she ends up shooting that boy and or little that woman and her kid. I'm like, I do too. I want to know what the fuck happens. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm in the same boat. I want to see what the fuck happens. And yeah, this movie, I'm gonna get some shit for this. I'm gonna say that right now. I did like. I want to first say I did like this movie. I did. I really did. But this movie is good, not great. I know some people are going to there's going to be a lot of points. I guarantee a lot of people are going to disagree with me on, but bring it. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of flaws about this movie, but there's also a lot of good things about this movie. So it's one of those I do recommend it. Seeing it. Bradley Cooper is great in this movie. He is. He's fucking great. He's really, really good in this film. He definitely is the right person to play this kind of role because he brings a lot of charisma to a character that, if played the wrong way by a wrong actor, could come off more like a fucking prick. Because I'm not gonna lie here. One of the things that, like, I'm kind of getting a little bit of negatives here is that this guy is kind of unlikable in some ways. I'll talk about that a little bit further ahead. But because he's being played by Bradley Cooper, he is really likable. And he brings charisma. Like I said, Bradley Cooper does bring a lot of charisma to him, and it does a really good job. Um, Sienna Miller, I thought was fine as his wife. It was more the Bradley Cooper show, really, more than anything. This movie is really well made. If there's one thing I will not bitch about is the fucking how well made this movie is. After watching a movie like fucking Taken Free last week and seeing how horribly made that movie was, this movie was a fucking fresh breath of fresh air. Like, Clint Eastwood, the makers of Taken Free should take notes and watch this fucking movie on how to make a great action set piece. This is like fucking crazy. There's some really intense scenes in this movie, particularly the fucking scene where, well, the scene with the mom and the son is pretty good, but and that's actually the opening scene. Like, literally, that scene you seen in the trailers is the opening scene. No joke. He does shoot the kid and the mom. Spoiler alert. Just let you know. And yeah, I'll get in that too in a minute. But probably one of the scenes that I remember the fucking most was the one where the kid and the dad and the kid are being dragged out into the street by this like henchman of like this guy they're looking for. Oh my god, was that one of the most intense scenes I've ever fucking seen. Holy shit. Like, it's a really well done movie, and like the battle, like the war scenes are really good. Like it's really well made. Like, and this is kind of funny. I remember like going into this, like, if this movie was made like 40 years ago, like during the 70s or 60s, Clint Eastwood would be the role in Bradley Cooper's role. I guarantee it. He could play that. A younger version of Clint Eastwood could have played this role. He would have done a really good job. He's fucking Clint Eastwood, for fuck's sake. I had somebody, me and somebody at work were just arguing today about he doesn't think Clint Eastwood's a very good actor. He only plays the same exact roles every fucking time. Really, fuck off. Like, Clint Eastwood's one of the greatest actors fucking ever lived, and one of the best directors. He's one of those guys, like, I'll go out and watch any of his movies, like, that he directs. And this was no exception. I thought he was really good. He definitely is really good. He didn't get an Oscar nomination, did he? That's a shame, because he did really good in this movie. His directing was really well done. This movie is very unapologetic in its violence. Oh hell yeah! Like, I give a movie props after watching something like fucking Taken 3, where somebody gets shot in the head in Taken 3 and doesn't fucking bleed. There's no blood, no nothing. Like, somebody puts a gun in their head, pulls the fucking trigger, and yeah, I'm still pissed about that. This movie is unapologetic in its violence. Women, children, men, women, children, of all, I'm not even certain, probably a fucking dog or something. Hell, a rattlesnake gets shot. Everything gets fucking brutally murdered in this movie. Fucking children, especially. There's a scene where a fucking kid gets drilled into the fucking skull. I'm not joking. It's one of the most intense scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, holy fuck, movie. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, when's the last time you'll ever see... It's rare you'll see a movie where it has the balls... somebody has the balls to actually fucking kill children in a movie. You'll never see that happen, especially nowadays. But, I mean, in context, it's like, yeah, that's what would happen in that society. Like I said, Bradley Cooper upright shoots children, women, and children, too. I mean, in his shoes, I would have done the fucking same thing. You know, it's either them or me or them. You know, it's, you know, he's trying to protect his men, you know, his fellow soldiers. And yeah, I mean, it's understandable why he does it. And I do like this movie doesn't just, it's not just like a glorification, like, of just showing all his snipes and that's it, like all the people he killed. I mean, there is a montage where he's just sniping people right and left. It is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But it is more of like a character-driven story. For the most part, it is like, you know, it's not just like a war movie. It does try to spend time with the characters and stuff like that. I'll give it that. Now, where I have problem with this movie is, and this is, we're probably gonna get some shit for this. As much as I am pro-America, I'm, you know, home of the brave, land of the free, all that shit. This movie is very fucking heavy-handed in its patriotism. Oh my god, it is really fucking heavy-handed. It is like almost a propaganda film. You know what this movie reminded me of? And I'm gonna get so much shit for this, saying this, but you know that I don't even want to fucking say it. Is anybody that's been in the military is probably... I want to say this right off the bat. I support everything about military, you know, men and women, but this movie reminded me of, like, you know that fake propaganda film in Inglourious Bastards about the German sniper that was killing all his men? Yeah, this is what this movie reminded me of. I am not joking. Like, it reminded me of that pop. It was the first thing that popped into my head, like when I was leaving the theater. I was trying to put my finger on it, like the whole movie. Like, what does this movie remind me of? And it's not, like I said, it's not a bad movie. I'm not saying it's like this movie. The thing is with this movie is that half of that drove me nuts with the how, I'm usually, I have no problem with it, but what drove me nuts was half of Bradley Cooper's dialogue in this movie is just America, America, I love America, I love America, I love America. I'm not joking. That's like literally half of his dialogue in this movie. It is annoying. It is obnoxious. It's like, really don't, other than the fact that he loves America and he had a family, what else can you tell me that this movie tells you about this guy? And he loves, and he kind of comes off like a dick sometimes, like, dude, your family, your wife needs you, fucking stay. I mean, I know that people, don't want to, they want to go back to war, but fuck's sake, sometimes this character comes off like a fucking jackass. And again, I'm glad that somebody like Bradley Cooper was playing him, and that helped. And like I said, this movie was just so fucking pro-America. It was not even fucking, like, it just, oh, God, it was throwing it in your face. It drove me nuts a lot of times. I'm sure a lot of people love that, but I'm like, fuck off. Like, it's all like half his, like I said, the thing that drove me nuts was half his dialogue is just how much he loves America. America. I swear, like, I was ready, like, it was like, I felt like I was watching an hour and a half of that Denny's commercial, like, America, that one with the red, white, and blue pancakes. If you ever seen the fucking YouTube it's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever seen. America. Oh, I like how also this movie just fucking glances over PTSD. Thanks, movie. I'm not joking here. Like, literally, there's a scene at the end where, we get into spoilers, sorry, but there's a scene at the end where, like, we got 20 minutes left of this movie, and he comes back from the war, and he's at a barbecue, and he tries to kill the dog, like one of the dogs, because it's acting up or something like that, or like he thinks it's attacking one of his boys, and he attacks the dog, and then the next scene is he goes to a psychiatrist to see about the PTSD, and the next scene he's fine. They're like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, just really glance over fucking PTSD, really. And let me clarify about something about the guy. I do agree. I do like that the guy really, towards the end. I've heard this about him too. He really, like, he went out of his way towards the end of his life, like, trying to help out, like, soldiers with PTSD, and that's how it ended up. How I do find that fucking still ironic that he got killed at a fucking gun range. That is one of the most ironic deaths, like, since Paul Walker dying in a car crash. And, like, I'm sorry, that sounds really rude saying that, but, like, seriously, that's like the most ironic death, like, ever. But yeah, I found that fucking crazy, but I praise that stuff, like, that he did that stuff. I also, haven't I always heard, some people have brought this up to my attention a couple times when I've been talking about this movie before. I saw, wasn't there some controversy about his service, some of the stuff he did during his service in Iraq? Am I wrong in thinking that? Is there some questionable things that he did? Somebody in the comments below tell me. I'm not sure. Like, I tried to look it up, and nobody really, like, said in it. According to this movie, none of that's fucking real. I've heard from some pretty reliable sources, I swear, that he did some questionable things. I don't know, what was there was some kind of controversy with him. I forget what the fuck that was, but I don't know. That's hearsay or near say. I liked this movie. I did. I thought it was good. I don't think it was as great as everybody's gonna make it. I think movies like Lone Survivor was way better than this. Oh yeah, Lone Survivor was way better than this. That was definitely a way better movie. Fucking Jesus Christ, Lone Survivors. It does share in the fact that it was intense as fuck. I'll agree. Both movies are intense as fuck. I really love. I like both movies. I'm not saying I don't like both movies. Again, I like this movie, but I'm just giving my fair opinion on it. And like I said, I'm all pro military and all pro America as much as everybody else is, but Jesus, I mean, like this movie, like it's a propaganda film. It is. It's really is. That's all it is, for the most part. Like America. that's I guess I'll leave the end of the review for that. On that note, I'll be back probably the next couple days. I want to try to go see Black Hat maybe tonight. I don't know. It snows. It's supposed to snow outside pretty good, so I don't know if I'm going to see it. But next couple days, if not tonight, I'll definitely get around to watching Black Hat in the next couple days. Until then, I will see you guys later.